condos, townhomes. They all have HOAs. Are HOAs good? Are they bad? Or are they ugly? And what do they do to your property values over time? I will tell you right from the get, just so you understand my bias in this video. I am anti-HOA. I also grew up in a rural area, so I like the country and the outdoors. I don't like homeowners associations telling me what to do. This is no joke. My homeowners association, I stained my fence a very dark brown because I liked the color. The HOA sent me a letter and they said, your stain on your fence doesn't match the color regulations. I said, cool, I have money. Sue me, I'll sue you. We'll see who loses first. And I'm dead serious. I was like, stuff it. Magically, that never became a problem. This is the problem with HOAs, problem number one. We call them Karens. We call them Chads. They are the rule followers. They come out to Karen and Chad you about the stupidest things, the color of your fence, where your garbage can is located, how your RV was parked in the driveway for too long. Number one problem with HOAs. Number two, HOAs not only have Karens and Chads, they're run by uneducated Karen and Chads. And so these Karen and Chads, they get what's called positional authority. And with their positional authority, they may decide to make some random new law, rule, HOA guideline, bylaw, and they can just pass it. People vote on it. To protect yourself, you've got to read the CC&Rs. You've got to read the HOA bylaws. You have to understand how that functions against your property, against your house, against your townhome, against your condo. See, I'm semi-okay with them inside of traditional neighborhoods. I really don't like them in townhomes and condos, and we'll get there in just a second. But they can then make decisions that impact your property without your consent. So one thing you always have to do to protect yourself, not in addition to reading, to looking at the CC&Rs, is you need to get a copy of the HOA meeting minute notes. You need to know what they're gonna vote on and then how many votes it takes to pass something, because you may have to show up to protect your rights so they don't steal some of your rights and hurt your property value. Where I really dislike them, like I mentioned before, is in the townhomes and the condos, because then you have high HOA dues. And these HOA dues go to feed a beast that is run inefficiently. It's always run inefficiently. We got one for our property, and no joke, it was like $15,000 a year to mow around the playground, the stormwater detention, and then like this little strip. And you go, wait a second, that's over $1,000 a month for mowing. I know personally I could go get this executed and probably make it happen for $500 a month. The problem is you got Karen and Chad. Karen and Chad don't have connections. Karen and Chad don't run a business, and nobody wants the job because everyone calls them a Karen and a Chad. So you get like the worst of the worst that get on these boards that don't know what they're doing, and they just have time and they want to control everything. The next thing that happens, in addition to them ridiculously spending your money, is they can artificially jack up your HOA dues or do what's called a special assessment. What they do is your HOA dues could be $300 a month. And because they need to put a new roof on the complex, they raise them to $400 a month. That is a massive increase in your monthly expenses. That's also preventing the next buyer from qualifying for your property, because HOA dues go into their debt to income ratio, which means they can pay less for it because your HOA dues are higher. You have to make sure that the HOA has reserves, so they should have like 6 months worth of reserves, that the maintenance has been done on a regular, consistent basis, and that they've kept up with major items like siding, roofing, foundation, driveways, plumbing, boilers, things like that. What you hate to see happen is like what's happening in Florida today. In Florida, we had that really horrific event where that condominium complex was right on the waterfront and it literally collapsed, okay? Well, why did it collapse? It collapsed because it was an older building, the dues had not been raised a bunch, so it had deferred maintenance. So then what did Florida do in its infinite wisdom is the lawmakers passed a law forcing everyone into compliance, and condominiums throughout Florida that fall under this category in the last 24 months have dropped between 20 to 50% in their value. So trust me, someone can take away the value of your property. If you're going to be in an HOA, you have to be more vigilant than you think you need to be. You've got to be more a part of this. You have to be protecting yourself, especially in townhomes and condos. Make sure regular maintenance is done, that they're budgeting it accordingly, that they're spending it accordingly, that they're not giving it to Uncle Bob and someone's not getting a kickback and overcharging. They didn't go get bids for the repair item and they just picked the first one that popped up. Someone has to chase the dollars because the dollars affect multiple people. Bonus tip. This is for my builders, my investors, my developers. You'll find old HOAs that will prevent you from building a mother-in-law in the backyard, prevent you from subdividing, prevent you from building a dadu, prevent you from building a shop. So I need you, and this includes people who want to build shops and stuff like that too. You gotta read through those CC&Rs and understand how it governs the property. We purchased a property where it has really old CC&Rs. The HOA went kaput, but the CC&Rs are still in effect. And it says from the 1960s that no lot in this subdivision shall be under 7,500 square feet. It says it even worse than that. It says only one single family home shall occupy 7,500 square feet. So in other words, this area now allows where you could build a mother-in-law or a dadu in the backyard, and the CC&Rs prevent that from happening. So in summary, real quick, read the bylaws, read the CC&Rs, understand who Chad and Karen are on the board, understand how the money is being spent, make sure they have 6 months worth of reserves, and then every time they have a meeting, know what's coming up for vote so that you can protect yourself and make sure the maintenance is being done on a regular basis. I'm Anton Stetner. If you got questions about HOAs or HOA nightmares, drop them in the comments below. Love to have a conversation with you. You can reach us at resg.com. We're here throughout the whole Seattle Metro helping you with real estate.